All right, so for this module, we're going to look at some asteroids. So, although when we talk about geologic disasters, we've been talking about more common disasters, earthquakes, volcanoes, landslides, flooding, that kind of stuff. So, asteroids aren't as common for sure, but we know that they have occurred in the geologic past and they've made quite an impact. And so a lot of times when we look at the geologic time scale, which I know we really haven't focused on in this class, but it's a way to look back through time, and there's some names associated with different time intervals. And a lot of times those time intervals are broken up because of a mass extinction event. There was a loss of life, both in the sea and in the land. And multiple times that was caused from an impact. And probably the most famous would be around 65, 66 million years ago, there was a large impact that happened, and it certainly contributed to the demise of the dinosaurs and kind of gave rise to mammals and things like that. So even though, like we said, they're not super common, we want to still investigate those. And so that's what you're going to do in this module. And so how this is going to work for the lecture material is you're going to kind of jump around a little bit. So there's no video per se or a PowerPoint, but what I'm going to have you do is read up on asteroids. So there's a PDF here. You can kind of see it here. It's just going to be a nice background on, what is an asteroid and how do we identify these things. And so that's right here. Now there's a bunch of other links here, but don't let it get, too crazy that you're going to be bombarded. This first one here and this last one here are just quick little images that I want you to look at. So for the NASA solar system, because we're talking about impacts and where do they come from and all that kind of good stuff, I thought it'd be useful for you guys to take a look at the solar system. So that link, that first link, is just going to take you here, and you can zoom in and zoom out. It just gives you an idea of the size of our solar system and the planets and their orbits. And so I just thought it was useful to do that. So that's all you're going to do for that link, is just kind of zoom in and zoom out. And this last link here is just a short little video that indicates where all the known asteroids are. And so same thing, it's just a short little 55-second image, but it gives you an idea of how abundant these objects are. So the rest is 1, 2, and 3. These are going to take you to different sites, and then you'll read about the information there. So some of this information here will overlap your intro kind of asteroid PDF here, and then we'll focus a little bit on impact craters. So a lot of times we know an object has struck, or we know the size or age because of the types of craters left behind. And so we'll learn a little about that. And then, of course, the largest known impact crater that we've discovered, we'll learn a little about that. So when you go to the NASA page, so this link here, it's going to take you, just so you're kind of know what's going on, to this page here. And there's a ton of other information here. You can, of course, explore. This in-depth is the link the page I want you to focus on. So you're going to read through this information here. That's the information I want you to know. So yes, if you so choose, you could look at the galleries and you can explore. You want to look at planets and moons, awesome, go do that. But the information that I'm going to ask you to recall is the information on this page here, the PDF that you first read, and these two links here to the impact crater discussion and a certain type of impact crater. So hopefully it's not too confusing. It was not my, obviously, intention to do that, but you're basically reading a lot of information for this kind of quiz that you're going to take. This intro and then these 3 links here. The other 2, the solar system and the known asteroids, are just visuals to hopefully kind of bring it all together for you. And so when you're done with that, you can go ahead and take the lecture. There's an article that I'm going to have you look at here, and that is How to Survive a Killer Asteroid. And so it's going to cover, some impact stuff. In particular, it's going to focus on the large asteroid that struck our planet around 65 million years ago that had some impact on the dinosaurs' extinction. And so you go ahead and look at that. The video is a how the Earth was made that kind of talks about how we understood what these impact craters were and how that led to us understanding, wow, there's been a lot of impacts here, but they've been kind of covered up by the fact that our planet is very dynamic. And then finally, the homework is going to just ask you to watch a short video about what do we do. So, okay, we find an object. It's heading for us, Are we pulling an Armageddon? We're going to fly people up there and drill into it and blow it up, or, all the whatever other movies you can reference about, our planet coming to an end because of an impact. What can we do? So that's what this little video is going to ask you or show you or describe to you. And then there'll be a little fill in the blank kind of homework link. So you can link to the homework here, and it'll ask you the questions. You'll just type your information like you've done for other homework assignments. So that's how we're going to work through the lecture this week. The lab is going to focus also on asteroids and impacts. And so you'll use a little Google Earth there. So you'll import or open a KMZ file. And there is one for the Earth. There's also one for the moon. So the cool thing about Google Earth is you can go look at the moon. You can go look at Mars. And so when you download, you'll have two you'll download. But there's a little video, once again, in the lab portion that kind of walks you through how to download those and open them in Google Earth, and then you'll use that information to answer the questions. There's a few maps embedded in the lab you'll answer questions for. But as always, there is a video that talks you through that. So if at any time you have questions about either the lecture material or the lab material this week, please don't hesitate to contact me and I will help you out.